How can there be a male doctor in gynecologically? To make matters worse, it's my sister's boyfriend. Recently, you found yourself plagued by an intense itchiness in your most private area, accompanied by an unfamiliar discharge. It had me scared. Shockingly, online search results suggested it might have been due to frequent adult activity or having multiple partners. But that didn't make sense. You didn't even have a boyfriend. The more you read, the more uneasy you felt. You couldn't bring yourself to confide in anyone as you was terrified of the judgmental stares. So you snuck off to the hospital for a checkup. What you hadn't anticipated was that your older sister's boyfriend, Michael Thompson, would be the one to see me. Discreetly, you opened your phone, located your sister Emily Johnson's chat, and meticulously compared the photo she had sent me. It confirmed your worst fear. Instantly, embarrassment wetted your cheeks. How could there be a male doctor in gynecology? And to make matters worse, it was Emily's boyfriend. You had only ever heard Emily mention that her boyfriend was a doctor, but she had never specified gynecology. At that moment, you wanted to bolt. It was just awkward. But before you could even turn, the door to the consultation room swung open. Samantha Johnson. You instinctively let out a sound, feeling everyone's gaze, including Michael's. You wished you could just disappear. Believing then would have only made things worse. With a deep breath, you stepped into the consultation room. Thankfully, Michael didn't recognize me. Well, we had never met before. You only knew him from the photo Emily had given me. It was perfectly normal for him not to recognize me. Thinking this way, you felt a small sense of relief. You would just treat it like any other checkup with a stranger. Just as you began to feel a bit relieved, he dropped a bombshell. Take off your skirt and lie on the bed, Michael said, eyeing your skirt. You have to take off your skirt. You was beyond shocked. What if he found out you was Emily's sister, and what if Emily found out? How could you let Michael do this kind of thing? But now you was caught in a dilemma. You couldn't just say you was Emily's sister and refuse his treatment. Then how would he see me in the future? Would he think you lead a chaotic private life? And if you happen to develop negative feelings towards Emily in the process, your guilt would be even greater. It's just a routine checkup to rule out any potential underlying issues. Early detection leads to early treatment. He paused for a moment. In a doctor's eyes, there's only the patient, no distinction between genders, he added, perhaps trying to ease your embarrassment and concern over his gender. At this point, you had run out of excuses to avoid this situation. So you braced yourself. After all, he didn't know me, and you could pretend not to know him. Plus, what if your condition was serious? What if delaying treatment worsened it? Lying in the hospital bed, you closed your eyes. Take off your skirt and your underwear. His voice snapped me back to reality. Your face flushed red, and you awkwardly complied, feeling like the whole world was watching. It was as if everyone knew, and your mind was in turmoil. Here you was, undressing in front of Emily's boyfriend. You wished you could disappear, wished nobody knew me. Spread your legs. Was you going to expose yourself like this to Michael? Reluctantly, you complied and exposed your most intimate part. You felt mortified, and at that moment could sense the intrusion of something. You felt like a cold instrument was trying to open the most private part of me, a place never before seen by a man. The chills sent shivers down your spine.